I'm done.
Okay, now we will talk about the finale of Star Wars Skeleton Crew that dropped on Wednesday. And man, without spoiling anything, what was your first reaction, bro?
Ah, it was mean. I liked it, eh? Like especially the battle scenes. But it was pretty epic, eh? You're right, man. They used a lot of money in this CGI for this. Man, some of the special effects were especially with the scenes with the kids retreating while the pirates are trying to shoot them down. That was pretty mean. It was real awesome.
Is there anything in this episode you thought didn't work or
Yeah,
interesting? Hmm?
I think for me it had to be the end. It felt like you were eating something that you really liked, but it was finished too early. Like you wanted more, but it just like that end. And I was like, oh, I think it fell short at the end. Kind of, there was no extension, no cameos, nothing. It was just straight cut, and the credits rolled up, and I was like, oh man, that sucks.
Why do you think they did that? You reckon?
I don't know. Maybe they're preparing for the next season. I hope. But yeah, no, that was probably the only issue I had with that. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it as much as I did, or
I thought it was solid. I thought it was, as finale goes, it was a real good finale. Way better than Yellowstone finale. Way better than Acolyte finale.
You're right about that, bro? Straight up, it was a good finale. Eh?
But I'm
Just
not sure
yeah,
what that ending was all about in terms of why they felt like they just cut it without any resolution. What, like the aftermath of anything? There was no aftermath of anything at all. It sort of like stopped where it was, and that was it. And I was wondering why they did that, because I was thinking the ending of Acolyte, they gave you a lot of hype for possible next season, which we know is not going to happen.
yeah.
But there was a lot of things that happened, scenes, little scenes. That's going to lead you on to the next episode, right, or the next season. There was none of that in this one. Should have stopped. And I was wondering if that was a way to like say Disney wondering if we don't want to make people think there's going to be a next season just in case this sucks and we're not going to do it next season. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought
And
too.
like you're thinking, and we want the audience to, if we're not going to do it next season because it sucks, we want this season to finish like it could finish here, and there's nowhere
Nothing
else to
else.
go, right? Even though you want to know what happened after that, like the aftermath, right?
Yeah.
Because at the same time, what it does, it makes you think, why would you want to go visit this world again? Because it's finished. What's so interesting about this part of the galaxy now? The resolution has already happened.
Yeah.
At Etzen is not a secret anymore. At Etzen is just like a normal planet. You can come and go whenever you please. The pirates are all like defeated. There's no more adventure. The kids are safely home with their parents. So what more kind of do you want now? What could happen that could lead to a whole new season, right? Unless the kids go off on another adventure, but how is that going to happen? Like what has to happen for them to actually do that? Is Edson will Edson get invaded again to lead to a new adventure, or what? Like anything is possible now. Anything, because of this resolution, it's like stopped and capped off now until you undo the cap and bring in some more things that will make another 9 episode season. You gotta go back to drawing board and think about what that's gonna be. But in terms of ending the season as a one package, it does that perfectly. But because it was so good, you want to know. Hey, you want to know what happens next.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that. Yeah, I just don't know if that was intentional on the part of Disney to safeguard storytelling, to make sure that if they do a season 2, or or not do a season 2, it all works anyway.
They could even have maybe John could have his own kind of series. I'm probably thinking out of the box, but there's so many possibilities. So yeah, it probably is a good way to safeguard themselves from creating a new type of story or a completely new story from Ed Etten. Because you are right, there is no more. Because now the real good guys are looking after him, so Ed Etten's not ruled by a drone anymore.
And we just spoiled it before we did the spoilers.
Shit. Spoilers alert. That was late. Man, that just clicked.
So we'll just bust the WesWes recap right now. So if you haven't seen the episode, press pause on this, go watch it, and come back. We'll break down the episode for you guys. So here we go. Season 1, Episode 8, The Real Good Guys, directed by John Watts, written by Christopher Ford and John Watts. John continues to pose as the Republic emissary. He orders Wim, Neil, and KB to be confined to their quarters while he takes Fern and Farah to meet the supervisor, who is revealed to be a massive AI droid. When the supervisor contradicts Jod's claim about being a Jedi, Jod is forced to destroy the supervisor. This causes a blackout in the city and shuts down all the safety droids. As the pirates invade at Etten with the intent of enslaving the population, Wim, Wendy, Neil, and KB race to the Onyx Cinder. With the ship locked in place, Wim and Wendell devise a plan to distract Jod so Wendell can restore power. This enables KB and a repaired SM-33 to launch and fly the ship past the barrier and call Kim for help. Shortly after, the Onyx Cinder is shot down by the pirates. Meanwhile, at Etten, Wim, Wendell, Fern, and Farah all confront Jod. Wim and Fern separate Jod from his lightsaber. Wendell and a reluctant Farah destroy the barrier. The New Republic forces arrive to deal with the pirates, shooting down their ship and forcing Jod to admit defeat. Everyone then races to the Onyx Cinder crash site to find KB alive and well. The episode ends with Wim looking up in the sky in amazement at the New Republic ships arriving on Etten as power is restored. That was your WesWes. What the hell happened? Recap. Favorite scenes? What was it?
It would have had to be in the battle, like the chase from the pirates with the kids, and Jod's pirate ship getting shot down. Like with him standing at the, watching from that tower and seeing the whole pirate ship going down. The CGI is off the chain for the entire episode. And I like the whole idea of putting it like it was a nighttime, kind of like a nighttime thing. I don't know why, but I've always enjoyed scenes at night, and then how all of that action took place while it was nighttime. It was pretty cool. Made everything all the colors in there pop out quite a bit more, especially with the fireworks. I mean, the laser blasters and that, the X-wings turning up. Yeah, all of that was so cool. The entire episode was awesome, man. Probably one of the best episodes up there.
Yeah, the bike scenes where the kids on their speeder bikes and just trying to escape the pirates. Man, that hit a lot of memories for me. Like the kids running the bikes on Goonies, on ET, the kids running away from the cops on their bikes, and ET making Elliot's bike fly in the sky, right? Or those kind of vibes. Even on Return of the Jedi, the speeder bike scenes in indoor
bikes in the forest, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, George Lucas, he's a fan of speed. His passion is fast cars and all that. That's why he made his second movie, American Graffiti, the hot rods in that.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford's in. But the speeder bikes are essential for George Lucas because he's into speed. So yeah, that reminded me of Return of the Jedi, especially when the kids are going for that shortcut through the forest.
Yeah,
right? And the sounds of the speeder bikes, and it's all the same. It's real cool way.
And the laser cannons in that. It's like, man, I was having fun watching that whole episode. I was like, whoa, you can watch it again.
I found myself actually going, on the screen when the X-wings show up.
Yeah, same.
So that was so cool, man.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
when they show up, X-wing show up to save the day.
Far right. It's amazing. I didn't realize how like back in the day when we watched like Star Wars and that First Hope and all the X-wings, and we're like, oh man, these are cool. And now when you see them again, like after years later, they're still cool. But it's like these X-fighters are hailed as the best pilots though in the universe. Hey, like man, they can take out anything almost. Like one pilot, like shit, they're really really good pilots.
Yeah, that was got me in my feels, when the X-wings came down.
Harder.
But I was surprised of what the droid was. The supervisor was a droid. I was surprised by that.
Yeah,
Like I
me
actually
too.
thought the supervisor was gonna be that pirate, that main pirate that owned the ship.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Hmm.
But when I did see the droid, I was kind of not surprised at all, as well. I was like, oh, okay, kind of makes sense with all the droids on the planet. But I was clever enough to know that I was being conned. So, man, all those years looking after that planet, shit.
But now we know the Empire knows about this. The Empire knew about this place because they're the ones that relayed information to the droid, the supervisor, that the Jedi's were
Traders.
traitors.
Yeah, that's right.
So all the six made it to Edson.
Yeah, that's right. But now that the New Republic is in charge of Edson, I wonder if it can use some of those funds.
But the New Republic didn't even know about Edson. No one did.
Yeah,
So what we thought that the Old Republic. This is the Old Republic stuff. So the Empire took over. The Empire knows about the the android, right? They know about the mint. So
probably that's where they get their finances for the clones and for the clone, the clone army, all that stuff that happened back in episode 1 and 2 and 3. They had all their finances for for the Death Star. Shit, because it's still crack up how Star Wars still runs on money or some kind of currency.
so yeah, I thought that was interesting because I thought the Empire didn't even know about this either, but apparently they did.
Yeah, they'll probably explain the other planets as well. They might have depleted all the other seven or six planets there was left.
Yeah, we sort of finally got some info on where Jod's from too, when he told about he was trained by a Jedi until Order 66. The Jedi got killed. His Jedi master got killed.
Yeah.
Maybe from Darth Vader or the Inquisitors at the time.
Yeah, they were hunting down the rest of the Jedi. Yeah, I'm surprised he got away too. And he mentioned there was a female teacher too. Yeah, no, it was good to see some insight on John. Because we've been trying to figure him out quite a bit. And it was funny too, for this episode for John, like he it's like he finally put all his cards out there. Like he finally went all in. But he wasn't as bad as I thought he was. Like I actually thought he was gonna kill Wim's and Fern's mom and dad. I actually thought he was gonna go through it. But like right at the end there, he kind of like just I'm done. Like he had it. That was it. I think all that time he was like he was threatening them all that time. But I think he really really didn't want to hurt anybody. Like he even said it himself. Right at the end, he just decides not to follow them.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. Talk to me about Jod and compare him to. Obviously, he turned out to be the villain of the series. But if you compare him to other villains, like is Jod actually a villain? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think he had good intent, but I think the way he was going about it, maybe he was so frustrated with the kids because the kids can be frustrating. Like how he was like going down on Neil in that, especially with Neil's jabbery, talking about how Neil jabbers all the time. Because I found that annoying as well. But yeah, no, I don't think he's that bad. But yeah, it's hard to say. Nah, I'll go with he's not that bad. He's not that bad of a dude. I actually thought he was going to kill the parents, but yeah, no.
He's not your traditional Star Wars villain.
Yeah.
in that he doesn't really kill. I mean, he killed the beast. What's his name? Brutus.
Yeah.
But that was because he was gonna die. It was either him or Brutus or him,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, you kill for self defense, even though it wasn't really self defense, but it was. But yeah, he didn't really want to kill the parents. He didn't really want to kill the kids, which makes him not really a villain. Like he sort of takes you to that limit of being the villain, but he doesn't even cross the line. Eh?
Yeah. He's
He
a good
goes to the
bluffer, bro.
edge. He goes to the edge, but he doesn't cross the line, and he goes as far as he can be. Because at the end, he drops the gun because he recognizes defeat. He drops his gun,
Yeah.
and that's it. You know, and plus you can hear him when he said, "I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want anyone to be hurt. I just wanted, the money. Like that's his goal."
Yeah. Yeah. When
I
I heard
mean,
that, I was like, oh, true.
he just wants the money, and that's it. And he'll do anything. He do anything he can to get the money, right? Even tricking his kids. But that's as far as his villainy goes, right? It doesn't go further than that. So
Yeah.
he's got a good heart, and I think because of that way he acted to the kids in the first 3 episodes, right? Helped him along the way, which shows he's got heart. But under his heart, his agenda was to get that money,
Mm.
right? So he's not completely evil. He's not an evil person. He's just
A greedy
got his
person.
agenda, and he needs to do what he's got to do to attain his goal, right?
Yeah. He's a bit like Han Solo, but really, really greedy.
Yeah. So I think that was the disappointment for me with the ending, that we don't resolve really what happens to John afterwards. The kids just leave him in the tower, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Maybe
But he
that's the
is
way.
defeated. He was watching the ship go down, crashing, and he's like sad. So he is defeated. When Wim calls out his name before the elevator closes and they go down, that was just that last bit of connection, like that last bit of, you're an asshole to us. You're a
But
dickhead,
still,
but we still, we remember
yeah.
the good times.
I, yeah. I still remember those prep talks. I kind of cracked up at that a little bit. And he goes, John. And then John just looks at me. Like, oh, now fuck you go.
Yeah.
Little shit.
Yeah, so my favorite scene was when the X-Wings came, eh? I was excited. You know what? I was cracking up at myself when I was jumping up and down in the chair. Like I actually went woohoo like that. And I was like, fuck, what am I saying? Like, but then it was so cool, man. Just letting it come out, eh? Like
Oh, you're just
it
as
was so heroic, eh?
you're
That's
just
what
as
you
bright
wanted.
as me.
But I liked the writing in the last episode, because what you saw was a problem, right, to be solved,
Yeah.
and you saw the way to solve this problem. You didn't want the kids to be at one place to solve that problem. You wanted the kids to be spread out and working in teamwork. You know what I mean? Like each of the kids had to be separated
Yeah.
and each of the kids had to do something to help win the day. Or, what the kids had to do, whatever they had to do to win the day, they had to do it separately.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing as like in the Star Wars films. Like there's always a separation of the team to get things done for the common goal. Like
Sin of the Jedi, bro. Perfect example.
Return of the Jedi is perfect. Even in Star Wars, like you
Yeah.
had Obi-Wan go try to turn off the tractor beam so they can escape,
Yep.
right? And then Return of the Jedi, like you said, you had the team down in Endor trying to shut down the shield, so the X-wings and all that can go and shoot the core of the Death Star to blow it up. Then you had Luke Skywalker trying to defeat Darth Vader inside the Death Star. So you had you had the separation, and you had the same thing in the last episode of Skeleton Crew, eh?
Yes. Yeah.
And that formula, that's like a formula, right? So we see the formula here happen with Neil separated. He goes and uses the gun.
Yeah, that was cool.
To help KB fly the ship to go up in the sky to call the X-Wings to come, or call Kim to bring down the X-Wings. And then you had Fern and Wim inside the tower, along with Jod. Fern was there anyway, but because they had to shut the power to release the ship from that lock thing,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's why Wim and his dad had to go up to turn off the power. So there was all this collaboration happening to have the final result, and that's a typical Star Wars thing for any conclusion. And it was cool to see that happen here because these kids, because they were separated in the episode when Fern and Neil was going up to the ship, climbing the cliff, while KB and Wim walked over to that crab thing. That episode, that was the only time that they separated. But then, that wasn't the same thing for this one. So yeah, I noticed that, and that was pretty cool, and that kept the finale exciting because now you have to follow where the kids were at that same time, and their little individual jobs had to be for them to win. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
old Formula 8, but it still works. Oh. Yeah, you're right on the top for that one, bro.
Was there any sort of intrigue that you got out of this? Not intrigue, like storylines that you thought were unresolved?
Probably just the Jod one, eh?
Like, what do you mean?
What happens to him now?
Right.
Because all we see is of him is he's left in the tower. Is he gonna try and get? Is he still gonna try and go back down to the vault and get the rest of them in? Is he even gonna make it off planet? I don't think so, because with all the X-wings flying around, you'll have issue with that. What else is there?
Well, the question is, what is the New Republic going to do with the credits?
Planet. all that money. What's going to happen to all that gold? Is it going to go towards Princess Leia and her setup?
Well, you have to think about what happens in The Force Awakens, because how big time are the New Republic in that film?
Yeah,
like, you don't really see them much, eh?
no.
The New Order destroys Coruscant.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, they destroyed all those planets that support the Republic. Fire one blast.
Yeah. So yeah, I think one of the parts for me was the decision to make Edson the supervisor know about Order 66.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like the AI droid, the supervisor droid, was the only thing that knew about Order 66, and the people on Edson didn't even know anything.
Yeah.
Like, they kept them in the dark with everything that happens in the galaxy, and it looks like the AI droid, the supervisor droid, just knew what he had to know. You know what I mean? Like, you're on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
And so if you thought that the Old Republic was in charge of you, the Empire takes over and said, nah, all the Jedi's traitors. All the 66s happen, which will let you know that that's the deal right now. So that's the only communication they've got, like, since the Old Republic, right? So yeah, and I wonder how that conversation happened. Like, what does the droid do? Oh, was there like a coup? Who is this Empire? Where's the Old Republic? How did you take over? That kind of thing.
Yeah, because straight off the bat, First Order is already, they look like they're financially set. They got everything. They got all the equipment, all the money by the looks of it. So maybe the Mint ends up in their hands somehow. How does that happen? It's probably one outstanding part of the story that I would like to know. All in all, bro, these 8 episodes of the show are awesome. But I think the last episode will have to be the best. One of the best episodes in this for me. Yeah, I enjoyed the show a lot.
So I'll ask you a question. So this Skeleton Crew, compared to all the other Star Wars programs that have come on, like, where does this sit in terms of how good it is, and where does Star Wars go from here? Have they found the winning formula with Skeleton Crew, or would this help them figure out what the audience wants in terms of a Star Wars film or TV series?
Where does it sit with the rest of the shows? We've got The Mandalorian. Man, I reckon This show's pretty up there, eh? It'll probably be the best show up there. I would even say it's probably better than Mandalorian almost. Because Mandalorian does have that kind of recipe there, eh? They've got the Go-Go thing going on. All the other characters blending in. But yeah, I reckon this surpasses that. It's just because the recipe for a good show and adventure is all there. So yeah, I would agree this would probably be better than The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, which are probably the only two shows I want to talk about from Star Wars. The rest, nah. Not even the Acolyte, I won't even mention that. But yeah, some of my most memorable parts were from Mandalorian and this show. Season 2 Mandalorian was good. Was really good. I think even this is better than that.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about how Disney's handling Star Wars content is having shows that are catered to different demographics or different age groups.
Yeah.
Like if you search on Disney Plus in the Star Wars category, you see a lot of cartoons, and you see that cartoon, The Young Jedi's, aimed at young kids.
Yeah.
Aimed at real young kids, like 5 to 10 years old. And in terms of live action, this will be the step up from the 5 to 10 years old age group. This will be like 10 years old to 15 or something like that. Like,
yep.
I agree. I think they've got this one right. I don't think you could compare this to Mandalorian and those other shows because I think it's a different age group, right? And they cater to more towards our generation of Star Wars fans. We grew up with Star Wars, and now we're older. We're adults. We got families. Got kids. We're still fans of Star Wars because it reminds us how we saw Star Wars when we were kids. But now, we want some of that in the modern kind of way. So when we see Mandalorian, we love it because it has the old school stuff, but it has some new stuff too, and it is a Western, and it has those kind of vibes, right?
And him being a parent, him being a parent hits the audience of the young Star Wars fans who are parents now. Shit,
yeah,
onto it.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think Skeleton Crew is up there, but I think it's alongside Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It will never be in the same category as Mandalorian because Mandalorian is catered to a different age group.
It's like Endor.
It's Endor's
probably for the older,
like the ones that want more serious kind of content.
Drama.
Like, I think in Endor there's a scene where he's just had sex, and there's a scene when he comes out of the bed.
Yeah.
And there's a naked woman in there, right? And it's like
a naked alien woman.
Yeah, and it's like, where the hell is this? And I was like, this never kind of happens, right?
And one where a lady gets tortured, and it's like, bro, she gets tortured like she's on crack. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, so the tone and the genre are different as you go across the content, right? And I think with Skeleton Crew, it does cater towards our generation. Because even though we like Star Wars and kids, we also like E.T. and the Goonies, right?
Yeah.
So we grew up with those kind of films, and it's got those elements within Skeleton Crew. So it's like how we talked about before, the Ghostbusters Afterlife, eh? Does the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they could make more Skeleton Crew type shows. But then it's all about where do you want to explore, what part of the Star Wars universe do you want to explore, and what's interesting to you, right? And that brings me back to what I was talking about at the beginning of our topic was, what do you do if there was a season 2 of Skeleton Crew? Like, what do you do? Like, you have to, because it's all resolved, so you have to bring in a new threat, or you have to make the kids go out into the galaxy again somehow. There has to be an incentive for them to do that. So, and the ship's crashed. It's busted up. So it's not like they can. Well, they might fix it up, but
it doesn't look that badly busted up. But yeah, where did they go? What's the new threat? Yeah, so many questions though. There's more questions than answers.
Yeah.
We gave
Well,
ourselves more questions.
But I know what it does. It makes us wanting more.
Mm,
And I think
yes.
that's just as important to end the season like how it's ended. You know what I mean? It does the job twice. It makes us, because it was so good, it makes us want more.
Yeah.
You know, not resolving anything at the end makes us think, shit. Makes us like always think about it and just assume what's going to happen and all that kind of stuff. So sort of builds it up. But I like my comment I had in the previous episode where I said, man, this should have been a movie.
Yeah. I
Or
don't know.
maybe they should make a movie now.
Yes.
Maybe the next follow up to Scout Crew is a movie version.
Maybe it'll be good to see these guys with the Mandalorian. If they once they make the Mandalorian movie, it'll be good to have a cameo of these guys. Or I don't know, because it's around about the same timeline. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like you said, this is a good show. It sits right up there next to Mandalorian. So yeah,
I'm kind of sad it's finished, but I'm happy that it wasn't crap.
Fuck yeah.
And it definitely made up for that.
Hard on, 100%, 100%. And I think a lot of people, like I've seen on the net and on other podcasts, like they talk about it hard up. Like this is way better than the Acolyte. It's a good show.
Sweet.
Oh,
was there anything else on the episode? Any other good scenes you enjoyed?
No, it was all on that one episode. It was mean. You were saying, I was like, woohoo! I was like, yeah. My brother was like, what are you watching? The Skeleton Crew. That's bad. Said, oh shit, because he's watching it too. So I think he's finishing it tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's enjoying it too. He's like, man, you're right. It's like the old school movies. Hard on.